I know, right? Greetings and hello. Hi, my name is Lawrence, and I am the Blue-Eyed Emperor. It's been a few months since I last had a chance to talk with everybody and to do a video. And most of you know why. For those that don't, my mother has been fighting a struggle with cancer for a number of years now, as well as my father recently has been diagnosed with blood cancer, and also, I don't want to say advanced stage of Alzheimer's, but nonetheless, nay did they drink, nay did they smoke ever. So it goes to show you, right? It's what we feel we're doing all the right things doesn't necessarily prolong life, right? It doesn't necessarily guarantee you a foot into longevity. So let me start off with just a couple of things. First of all, thank you for all the wonderful people that just had big hearts, a large amount of understanding when it came to me not being able to be here to do readings. And I don't want to say too many times because it makes it seem like I'm having to think about what I want to say, and in my heart, I know what I need to say. Again, when you're putting someone into hospice and you're watching someone die every day for 8 years, and they say, well, you're cured now. Well, if we remove your rectum and part of your stomach, you're going to live another 4 or 5 years. Okay, wait a second. We just had this next cure that has something that's going to prolong life for you. But we have to put you on blood thinners and something else and something else. Then there comes a point in time in your life where they say, there's nothing more we can do. We don't need to treat you anymore because you're not treatable. That day has come for my mother, for us as a family, and I sympathize with all of you that's already gone through this. I mean, I can't show you enough love. I can't show you enough appreciation for the strength that you must have, because losing someone is probably the single most difficult thing to ever happen in your life. Not the only thing, the single most important thing. The worst part of it, probably even greater than losing that person, is that person losing you and having to die alone because you're not allowed to be there at the time that they're in the hospital, they're dying, or even at the burial. And in fact, my mother and father both are military veterans, and praise you both for your service and wonderful dedication, Mom and Dad. A mixed marriage couple, father was white, mother's black, in a time where it was illegal to marry a person of the opposite race. And he's from the heart of Texas, and so his family disowned him, and he loved her so much, again, and I told you the story, that it didn't matter. Didn't matter. He stayed with her. They're still together to this day, and they're holding on. With that said, the second most disappointing thing, or biggest disappointment that's going to happen in your life at one point in time or another, yourself. Yes, I said it, yourself. You yourself will be your single most greatest disappointment in your life for some reason, for whatever reason. The next thing, your children. At some point in time, your children who you've welcomed into this world, taken care of, doted over, coddled. And yes, my kids are boys, but I still do that, right? I mean, again, I can't think of a day that my kids ever woke up to a cold bowl of cereal unless they just wanted it. Or a peanut butter jelly sandwich for lunch, or come home by themselves to an empty home. I was always there for them for 14 years. And my oldest son, and I kind of told you guys this before I took off, was just a dream. Both my children were just adorable and loving and yelling out, "I still love you." And my kids, even though he's he still says, I love you, Dad. And I'm grateful, right? I'm grateful as a parent for that. I'm not grateful for the lies and the deceit that he used to, and continues to use, to run the streets, even during this pandemic, right? I mean, the excuse to say, I don't want to be here because I say to him, and he asked me, can I go outside with my friends? It's midnight. He's 14, midnight. And I say, hell no. Well, you do that enough times, your kid's going to turn on you, he's going to lie, he's going to say anything and do anything that he can, including, and I just want to say this, after this, I don't just mental thought, I'm placing a place marker here, a mental thought. To this day, and 2 months ago, my son has not been in my house for probably a month, probably about a month. He said some horrible things to me, and I refused to let him go outside. He was trying to be a big shot in front of his friends here in front of my youngest son, and they told my son, they said, he goes, Dad's doing everything he can to rectify this and to put you on the right track. He's giving you all the chances in the world. And my son still just mouthed off and just, and he gets that way. He gets angry and he just says things and does things. And I sit him down and I talk to him. I said, look, son, listen, it's easier to just talk about it than to just blow up and just create all this drama and havoc. God only knows I don't want him to be one of those people that I preach about. But I'm afraid he has. So the neighbors next door, all of us have Ring. And sorry, I'm going to dismiss this. All of us have Ring doorknobs, right? So when an incident takes place, we all get a notification. We all write back, thank you for keeping notification. Well, there's a ton of people in our own neighborhood that go, oh, you dumbass, why this isn't a post, why don't you go post this on Facebook to people and just say the craziest, weirdest things. And during this pandemic, my neighbor stuck her head outside the door. Good people, right? Her husband's a great guy, she's a great gal, great daughter, just good people. And God bless them, because you know what? I could have ended up with shitheads for neighbors. Instead, I was blessed by source, right? Well, until my son's friend, who's a girl that he's known since he's been 4th grade, moved in next door. Little did I know that was going to be the den of inequity, right? Where his train of thought and his focus and the reason for making up these horrific stories, so that he doesn't have to be here, so he can be in his mom's house who lets him run the streets. So he could be out at midnight, 10 o'clock over there, 12 o'clock over here. But he sneaks past my house because I got security cameras to sneak next door. Because there, the 14-year-old girls are giving away sex and allowing drinking and other things. And not just next door, but they're doing it at other people's parties and other houses. I've had parents call me. My school called me to warn me. And my son thinks I'm so stupid that the good parents aren't going to call me. But they do. He doesn't realize now at this point in time of his life, he doesn't realize now that everything that's being done, everything that's being said, and all the precautions that are put in place here was for a reason. And I hope that someday when he has children, that he is not plagued by the things that he's doing to us here, right? I still love him to death, come on. Like the prodigal son, I take him in and clothe him, and to this day I still buy him stuff. He comes over just to pick up stuff and gifts. And he does it outside. I won't let him in my house, right? He's running around the streets with all these people I don't know, sleeping with people. And a parent called me up and said that my son stole a bike. Well, I was furious. And she said, your son stole a bike from my son. And I was pissed off and I got mad at my son. And I said, what the hell's going on? She called me up in the middle of the night. And I said, go to my son, blah, blah, blah. He goes, okay, I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah. Well, turns out it wasn't my son that stole the bike. Her son did. And he told it on the phone to me, his mom, and my son, because my son refused to rat on him. God bless him for that. But you don't lie to your father, your family, to to not rat somebody out, not rat them out to their parent, and then talk to your parents about it, because we're the ones that protect you during these times, during these things and issues. If someone, listen, he could have ended up in juvenile hall. The other kid probably should have, would have. Luckily, the mother took the bike back or dumped it and made some post on Ring and some other applications to try to get people to find it. And God bless her, she's a good person. And I'm stricken by how both of our kids have stooped down to this, right? I don't understand it. You have everything you want, everything you need, all you have to do is ask, and yet you still want to do these things. I understand it's a learning curve. And I talked openly with my kids about sex and stuff. And because I gave him condoms and said, in case of emergency, I don't want any grandbabies here, he thought that was an invitation. I don't think he thinks that. He told me that. But do you think I believe that? No. I said, if you're going to do something, then be protected, right? This was all before the real big pandemic thing blew up. The other thing, and the reason why I'm doing this video and compelled to do this day, because before November and during the time period of November, December, I told you about a cleansing of this earth, a cleansing. I said it would come. It was demanded by source that this cleansing must take place. And if any of you that know me, that follow me, that watch my videos, you know this statement to be true. Right? We're seeing a cleansing. Several days later, several weeks later, I've seen other energy readers say the same thing, that there's going to be a cleansing of the earth. I knew it was coming. Did I know it was going to be pandemic flu? No, but I knew there was going to be lots of death. And I told you, in one of my readings, and even on my social page, on my YouTube channel, there's a community page. Well, I didn't know that they actually deleted them after 5 months, 6 months. Well, at least they did mine. But I said then that there's going to be a cleansing of this earth, and there's going to be like no other before, that there's going to be, that the earth had to do this. And it's just like weeding out the herd, right? Thinning the herds. Whether it be reindeer, whether it be buffalo. Humans do this to other animals. Why would we think that Source or God wouldn't do this to us? There's only so much space, so many resources, and this planet is just overwhelmed with a demand for food, for clothes, for oil, for gas, for money. The poverty in the United States level has risen to a point in my mind that is intolerable. And you know what our government does? It gives millions, billions, trillions of dollars to every other country. Well, no, I said that right the first time. That was a Freudian slip. That stays a fact. We give companies, countries, everybody else but our own citizens who we pay into systems. You can't even go try to draw unemployment right now. Go do it. If for some reason something doesn't check out, even though you pay into it, something doesn't check out right, I know, listen, how many people know hundreds of people that are now unemployed because of this pandemic? How many people? How many people do you know? How many people do you know that died? I know a few. How many people do you know are sick? I know many. At some point in time, before we can help everybody else, we have to help ourselves. And they say, and I don't mean that in a malicious manner, but the more people we help here in this United States, the more people, the greater the collective to help everyone else elsewhere. We live in a time and place right now in a world where no one gives a shit about you. Gives a shit. No one gives a shit. And yes, I'm still drinking some very wonderful creative tea. When I say creative, I'm mixed some passion with orange and lemon. This made a hodgepodge of different teas to get the flavor and some raw honey. We live in a time and place where people absolutely hate each other. And you say, well, so many people she'll love, especially on this channel. Well, yeah, this channel's separate. This channel's different from all that other stuff. I had a vision 3 days ago. I was troubled by it. Sleepless nights, as many of you probably are suffering from insomnia, as I am. Mainly out of fear for my son laying there, even though he's in a room away, fearful of what will happen, whether he's going to get sick tomorrow, whether he's going to do this or that. So we've been on lockdown here. I mean, 100% lockdown. Everything's delivered, everything's sterilized. We started a stockpile early January of gasoline and food and other things, supplies and storage cabinets and food and meals and stuff, freezers and auxiliary power to run it by, bullets and guns. Well, only bought one new gun, but bought more ammunition. And now you say, well, why is that? Well, first of all, I told everybody, well, not on the internet because I haven't been on the internet, but I told all of my friends and people around me, first, the school's going to go. Then, little by little, food. People won't be able to go into work, jobs, oil, gasoline, which is falling, food. So right now there's nobody to refine the oil that they're yielding, so they're having to dump it, stockpiles of it, to raise prices of crude, because if the price of crude drops so low, guess what? The refineries then go out of business, and then there's no gasoline. It's a vicious, sick cycle. Just like a lot of these works. The only people that are prospering, Amazon, online ordering. Everyone else is personal businesses, small businesses, hit hard. And you know what? The government's just giving us lip service. Our local state governments are giving us lip service. We want to help, we want to help, we want to help. They're full of shit. They don't want to help. They don't want to tell you the truth about really what's going on with this pandemic. And it doesn't even matter whether there's a conspiracy theory about what happened and why it happened or who's doing it or why it did it. Doesn't matter. Right? You'll never, even if there was a theory and you said, oh my God, if China did it, was doing this or doing that, blame China, then what? So what? Does that fix the problem? No. But nobody gives a shit about anybody anymore. The whole world needed to change its perspective about the person next to you. God, people are dropping like flies now. What? 200 million? I don't know how about. There's 1.5 million, almost 2 million people in the U.S. alone that have the virus. 70,000 died, and that rate is going to increase to 3,000 a day. That's a little under 100,000 people in the U.S. will die every month. They predict this virus to last 2 years. Is that the truth? I don't know. Will this last the whole time? Will that many people die every month? I absolutely believe so. You know why? People, and my own son says, I won't get it, Dad, I won't get it, I'm wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask that looks like it's like his grandmother. He said his grandmother made it. And she's a clown. She gave him foul, and that's my ex-wife's mother, who I hated because she's the lowliest mother in the world. For what she did to her daughter. Her other daughter died mysteriously because she had a head injury at 3. I mean, come on, we can go on and on about this lady. She actually tried to make a pass at me before I got married and tried to walk into the shower and see me naked. I could hear my ex-wife and her mother squabbling at the bathroom door. My ex-wife saying, no. Her mom saying, come on, let me see. And then the next morning, she snuck and crawled on the floor on her knees under my bed and slipped her hand underneath. I called my ex-wife up at the time, my to-be wife, called her up at work and said, "Get home now. We're dropping your mom curbside at the airport." And I'd never seen her again after that. Well, I did when I moved to Arizona, where she lived, and I tried to forgive and forget. God, you just know the marriage is going to end after something ridiculous like that, because where do you get these people at? Source? I mean, come on. The next topic, and then I will do a reading. It's going to be brief, though. I wanted to talk and explain and share love with you, and thoughts and feelings and emotions about what's happening and where we're heading. So I'm not going to read specifically for any sign. I'm going to read for the energy that I'm feeling from this planet and in the direction we need to head. I'm going to tell you about another story real quick. So I had this vision the other night, and I was sitting there, and I was almost like it was so colorful, so vivid, that I was meditating, and I asked to be connected to Source because I wanted to ask this question. And you don't always get to get connected to Source, right? But this night I did, and I sat there, and I'm sitting in this field. I look to my side, and there's a man. I can't describe him. No, he wasn't wearing white, didn't have long hair and a beard. Certainly not as long as mine. I'm kidding. But he looked like an average guy. And I turned and I asked. I said, "Father, Source, why are you killing so many people? Why do so many people need to die?" And people are walking around just as happy as can be, and people are talking like us. And he looked at me and he said, without any emotion on his face, he said, "Why do you think I'm angry? Why do you think I'm doing this to people?" He goes, "The good people have earned their way to come back to me." Without any facial expression, I could feel the love in that statement. The good people have earned the right to come home to me. The bad people need to be removed because of all the hate in this world. I felt his pain. It pained him to say that. With no expression on his face, I could feel that vibe inside, that energy inside. And it's like he's looking at me saying, I gave him every opportunity. The same opportunities I gave you, I gave them. People choose to be horrible to other people. People choose to love people and forgive people. Doesn't mean you got to keep letting them come into your life and doing damage and damage and damage again. And even if it's your own children, you say, "God, that's harsh." It's harsh. Do you give up one child to save another child? Or do you lose both? Do I want to lose him to this? No. Can I make him believe and have sense and live in the truth and dignity of why these things are being done and said to him, and laws and rules are put into place to govern people, to create a sense of humanity, humility, yet while still allowing discovery? I'm all for it. I'd pitch in, and I've bought and I've paid. And listen, you can't buy your kids' happiness. You can't buy your kids' love. You can't buy your kids' safety. At some point in time, they think they know and want to do it all. You're going to lose people you love. I've already come to the grip of understanding that. Have I resolved it completely? No, but I'm almost there. The last thing before I do this secondary, this reading, is I want to talk about a company, a bank, Wells Fargo, that this black man, Damon Sams, a white gentleman, Michael Feinstein, who work at a Wells Fargo branch in the security area, and I don't mean like technology security, building security, card readers. Yeah, they're not security guards. They run and manage an application that clocks people coming in and out by sliding in a card. How technical. These guys made it seem like you're building a fucking space. I don't cuss, I'm sorry. Like you're building God's temple. Because this is the only thing they have in their lives. Should you be proud of what you do? Absolutely. They, at this company, is a beautiful woman. I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about internal. People, get your head out of your behunkuses. I'm talking about internal beauty. I'm not going to say she's a bad-looking person. I'm just saying, I'm looking at the beautiful soul inside, the energy that she possesses. These guys went out of their way to threaten her, to daily plot. They spent more time trying to convince me to side with them and plot against what I knew was right. And I promise you, I did not. These guys habitually threaten people. Damon Sam's guy threatened me. Do you think I'm fazed by it? Fuck them. You can threaten me all you want. But I've seen good people at Wells Fargo that have been there for 17 years plus that I loved. I'm talking even men, I'm talking people that have been there forever, that are just, their spirits and bodies just embody goodness. You know what I mean when you, his name's Bob. First name's only, her name's Michelle. There's many others. There's contractors, people that this bank has lost millions of dollars in fines for illegal transactions. Transactions that were seen by a commission, a governing board, as being unjust and unruly, were fined hundreds of millions of dollars. Turn around $30 million. These two people, Damon Sams and Michael Feinstein, had this project running 3 years prior to me getting there. 3 years. And accomplished nothing. They spent millions of dollars padding their own department budgets with people's names that absolutely did no work on the project. They forced other people before me to put their names on the payroll list and the goals to act like these people were producing something because they wanted to fluff their budgets to the tune of millions of dollars, rather than giving their investors larger dividends, rather than giving us banking people better interest rates on our returns for our savings accounts. They let these two, well, I don't want to say Wells Fargo let these people too. God only knows Wells Fargo probably doesn't even, well, somebody had to say something about these two clowns, but these are just two clowns that I'm sure that banking establishment. Is this the only banking establishment that's doing this type of stuff? No, God, I've been in banking for years. You see it all over the place. The difference is not someone buying the same. These people had people scared to death to even talk in meetings. Nobody. What did I say? Get out of here. I don't care. You're saying you're making nonsense. In 3 years, you've done nothing. In 3 months, I've accomplished more than you've done in 3 years. And guess what? I only spent $85,000 doing it when you spent, what was it? 1.75 million? And got nothing for it. I think the number is bigger than 1.75 million. Took me less than 3 months, right? And when you done for me, when I do a project initiative, I do something, and then I move on to another agenda, right? That's what my whole life has been, right? The next biggest project, right? And but anyways, these two guys were ridiculous in their behavior. Talking on the phone in front of people, their leaders saying they're going to take people to ass-kicking sessions after this call because people didn't side with them. Or what company organization allows people to belittle and berate people, especially women? These guys, two guys plotted against this woman for at least a year. The day I first got there, the first thing they said is, don't listen to anything she says, block her out, don't invite her in any meetings, blah, 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 this and that, and she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, and she's just trouble, blah, blah, blah. They tried everything for me to get to tell people to say, escalate this over to her boss and everything else. I said, you know what I said? In every meeting, I made it a point in every meeting, a stand-up meeting every morning, to say, God bless Michelle. She's a great woman. She's the first person who stepped in that helped honestly, without purpose, without callous, without malicious behavior or intent. While these two knuckleheads, Damon Sams, Michael Feinstein, spent more time plotting like two little rulers over the door domain, right? This is very complicated, Larry. This is very complicated stuff. It's about as complicated as folding origami. All you got to do is fold the paper, you two nitwits. I'm sorry, I'm rambled on about these two guys, but anyways, I wanted to tell you, the world has to be cleansed of these types of people. It has to be. I only pray, and I with great sadness in my heart, I pray that these two people, of all people, somehow are led to God's given glory and by the righteous hand of God and source power or energy are dealt with. So they never treat people like that again. People are so feel threatened by them. I've seen women just beg, borrow, and steal, and they have to ask him for permission to talk, and they couldn't talk, and they had to shut up and take notes. These people were educated people, and he used them as pawns and secretaries. These people had the ability to do other things. Anyways, let's get on with this. I want to find out the energy source. Michael, oh yes, Michael and Gabriel. Guardian angels here with us. You can hopefully see them. You can't see, you can see Gabriel partially. And Michael. So, what I want to say is that I want to ask Source to give me guidance, energy on what's coming up for the month of May. What's coming up? What can we expect? What do we need to know? What lessons, Father, do we need to know? Spirit Guide, give me 3 angel cards on what do we need to know. Oh, they're back. I got the goosebumps back. I felt so disconnected, disjointed because of my sorrow and pity over my family. Let's just card hit the ground. I'm picking it up, put it on the table. 2 more cards. 1 more card. Perfect. 1 card flipped up. 2 cards stay down. And oh my gosh, so we talked about angel cards. We talked about our guardian angels here. We talk about the card here that says, be honest with yourself. Right? Be honest with yourself. And that's what I said right now, right? You've got to be honest with yourself. Are you being a good person to your neighbors? Again, love people. Say the words love. You don't have. That doesn't mean you have to. You want to go to bed with them. Doesn't mean you have a fanatical connection with them. Love is a word that conveys friendship. Love is a word that conveys camaraderie. Love is a word that conveys a feeling of caring, a feeling of abundance within yourself that you're able to express and share outwardly to those people around you, especially in times of trouble like this. Look into your heart and you will know the truth about this situation. Right? I'm talking about death. I'm talking about continued death. Many more deaths to come. It's safe to admit the truth to yourself, for we will support and guide you through this necessary changes. Lean upon us for the courage and the strength to take good care of yourself. Focus upon your true desires, and they will come upon angels' wings. True desires for me, ask yourself, what are your true desires? True desires for me is that I want people to realize the deaths and dying of all these people, those close to us, friends, family, those in this world. That there's got to be a better way for us to love and appreciate each other, instead of saying every word that comes out of your mouth has to be something hurtful, something curt, something ridiculous to somebody that just looks to create pain and havoc in their lives. What do you desire? What did I just say, right? What did I just say? And this card comes out and says, what do you desire? I told you what I desired, right? You know how, you now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon the true desires and know that you are ready and deserving of them, they'll rush in your life as if by magic. You have to say it. And you know what? I met this one gal online. Her name is Bella. Just a beautiful gal. Has kids. I don't know how many. I've seen one, the oldest one. But she's in love with this guy who's, I don't know, has not been around, maybe the father of her kids. I didn't get into the conversation totally, but she said something to me last night that says, and I said, well, what is it you really want? She goes, I only had one love in my life, and it's this guy, and I'm online doing videos. I'm online doing videos because I know he's out there watching, and that's the only reason why I'm doing them. My God, how much of yourself do you give to somebody that doesn't even know that you're there, or doesn't even care that you're there? And if he did care, he's using you, right? I mean, why wouldn't the love be reciprocated if that kind of love? We're talking about emotional connection, physical love, physical, sexual attraction between these two people. Well, maybe from her, but not from him, right? Otherwise, he would have already reached out. The next card out, reward yourself. You've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time to receive. Make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. This balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation consistently high level. Think about that. Reward yourself. Even in times like this, you should reward yourself and say to yourself, God, there's things that you could still do and say, right? There's ways that you could reach out to help people and convey different thoughts and emotions. You know, I haven't touched this card since the time I did my last video. Elijah, can you bring snow? I want to introduce you, real quick, if I can, two people. Come over here, son. Watch out for the cords, please. Step over here. This is my son. Come over here, son. Sit down, please. This is scoot in. This is my son, long-haired hippie. Look up. They can't see you. Long-haired hippie. This is my 13-year-old turning 14. Elijah, look at the camera. Say hi, man. Wave.
Hi.
Anyways, and he got his quarantine dog, Snow. Just adorable. She's 2 months old, and she's the new addition to our family. She's replacing his brother. No, not really. But both my other son got a puppy when he was 2. And so it was only fair that Elijah got a puppy too. So they both had puppies, and raising them, had the chance to do that. My other son, who's 14 right now, obviously only after about 3 weeks, I ended up taking over raising his dog for him. Hopefully that's not the case with this guy. Anyways, thanks, son. I just wanted to say appreciate it. So anyways, thanks. Love you.
Love you too.
Ciao. So that was my youngest. Peace, love. Another thing for you guys out there, and women, you're gonna hate me, but get this for your husbands. It's called fresh balls. You're gonna say, Lawrence, blue-eyed emperor, what? Fresh balls? Listen, I'm telling you. Probably looks backwards in the camera. I don't know how to make it look not backwards in the camera. Anyways, in the summer, this is like a lotion that you put on, males put it on their crotch area, and women, I'm sure this could probably work too. You don't want to put it inside your vagina, but for the guys, we don't have any orifice openings except for one that's really small. But anyway, you put that in your crotch area, and it creates a talc, and it's not powder, right? Because talc powder can cause cancer. This actually creates a real fresh, powdery feel all day long. You don't sweat in your pants. It's hot. Crotch gets sweaty. You don't sweat anymore with that. And it's not an advertisement. Everybody makes this product, a version of it. It's the greatest thing known to man. Women out there, if you're married, boyfriends, get your boyfriends and husbands this stuff. And use it yourself. Try it. You might like it. Just saying. A great thing. We live out here where it's 100, 115, 120 degrees. You need all the help you can get. I want to pull some cards. I'm going to ask very specific questions. Father, I need to know, and I already pre-shuffled this. Wow. A card popped out, but I didn't ask my question yet, so I'm not going to take it. That was the Three of Cups, just so you know. If it comes out again, we know it was meant to be. But anyways, I want to ask Source right now, does he see this virus as a means to heal the planet and the people of Earth? This planet. Is this virus meant to heal and change our direction and guidance that we give and how we live and how we treat others? Keep in mind, if you keep away from people, I seen a video yesterday, it was so brutal. A woman in a car, and this gal that was walking by, the woman that was walking by went into this rage and began kicking this woman's car and beating and screaming and yelling at her, trying to drag her out of the car. Two Caucasian women. Over what? Come on, where is this world coming down to where you could just brutalize people openly in the public? The card that came out, and I asked, is this a cleansing to help people, help our world, have a planet fall to the ground? I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to let you look at it first. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. I'm hoping you guys can see that. And this Eight of Cups, I'm looking at this card, right? And Eight of Cups is supposed to signify, wow, you know, hey, good grief, I've got a plethora of abundance here. I have all the things I need. But this guy's actually turning his back on all this money. Turning his back on that. Look at that. Turning his back against all those gold cups and chalices. And almost as a Source right here is watching him. And almost in admiration, watching him turn his back to the money, and he's looking to the stars for the future. Salvation won't be in money. You will not find salvation in money, is what I'm getting from this card. You will not find wealth and abundance. Just because you have money doesn't mean you have love, doesn't mean you have family, doesn't mean that you have a worldliness, a kindness, a uniqueness about you that makes you Source worthy. You won't find that gratitude. Those are going to be people that have a lot of money, and they'll do nothing with it. People are throwing away $1 million, going, oh, here's $500,000, and these people have billions of dollars. Why? Ask yourself, why are there so many people? Huh? Hold on one second, please. Elijah, son, I believe there's a delivery. Computer, what's your notification?
One new notification. From Amazon Shopping. Household supplies has arrived.
You caught me. Next question, Spirit, I'm asking you, please. tell me, what do we need to focus on right now as a planet? What do we need to focus on? Oh my God, look, that card. That card flew out. I didn't even realize it. That card flew out. You've seen this, guys. I didn't even realize I was going to keep shuffling. Absolutely. What did I just say? I said, wealth is not going to bring you anything. It's not going to be the salvation. It's going to be your love towards the planet, towards other people, and how you... People are so focused on money right now that they hate everybody else that comes near it. They're taking my money away. But guess what? When I said, when I asked the question, the answer was, that just stays downstairs, son. That's dishwasher detergent. What do we need to focus on? Look at this. You're not going to believe this. This is the four rods. This is the foundation of a home, a solid foundation. Getting back to moral, unique concepts about morality, about dignity, about humanity. This is the card of a foundation of a home, of where the heart should focus. Not on money, because, good God, guess what? The economy is falling apart. There ain't going to be no money. And you better check yourselves, too, because even I try to pull out money out of the bank, a large sum of money, and they said, well, you got to order it. You can't just come here and ask for that kind of money. I'm like, well, huh, the bank's not giving me money? Okay. So, and the federal government was actually blocking people from removing large amounts of money out of their savings accounts because that would create the banking system to fail, just like it did in the 20s. Right? The banking failure. And it's going to happen. Trust me, it's going to happen. So I am pulling my money out slowly and surely. And guess what? This card came out. I haven't seen it. My hands are still here. I haven't seen the card. But I'm going to say, I'm talking about banking right now. I'm talking about money right now. I'm talking about how the financial institution's falling and crashing right now. And I'm not just whole-hum, honest to God. I couldn't be happier that somebody's doing something to change this world other than us. Right? There's a lot of great people in this world. I'm not saying the Blue-Eyed Emperor tribe is the only tribe out there trying to do good. There's a lot of great people out there, a lot of great people on the internet, a lot of great people on YouTube that are preaching and reading cards and trying to deliver messages that help keep people sane. My job is not to keep you sane, it's to tell you the truth. And I'll tell you another story after this, after I'm done. But this card here, we're talking about the financial, we're talking about building a foundation, and that money is meaningless. And this is what the message I've been meant to tell you guys, right? Death is going to happen. It's going to come. I don't know what this card is. I'm going to unveil it to you first. I still can't see it. I can't see it. Six of Swords. Leading. We talked about abundance, and this guy turning his back. This guy turning his back on that abundance. Right? The gold chalices. Talking about building a foundation, a home, a new belief system that's stronger than ever than before. And we're talking about the Six of Swords of leading a trip. This doesn't mean a trip. I'm just saying that because that's what they say the cards were moving. But in my mind, I see a vision. This is leaving behind all the worldly crap and worldly things that you thought were so important. And I know people. I know there's people that are being put out of their homes right now. There are people that can't pay their rent. There's people that can't do a bunch of things. People out there. It's time like this that we do something about the government system that has put us in this position. It's time to revolt. And I don't mean up in arms and shooting people and government people and acting crazy. I mean, it's time to affect change globally. It's time to affect change in the United States about, again, how we treat people, what we're doing. How do we let the government make us pay such crazy taxes, 26, 30%, charge us money for student loans and lend us money for student loans? Most countries provide education for their people. Canada I don't mean that all Canadians are great people. I just mean that the government system itself is I don't even know how to express myself in this, and I'll think of something over the next couple of days, but the government system out there is they have medical for people. Is it the greatest? No, but guess what? It's better that everybody has something than only a few people have great and other people have none. How stupid are you, government, the United States government? How stupid are you that keep treating us like chattel? Look up the word chattel, C-H-A-T-T-L-E, chattel. I believe I spelled that right. Computer. How do you spell chattel?
Child is spelled
No, not child.
C-H-I-L-D.
Computer. How do you spell the word chattel?
Shadow is spelled S-H-A-D-O-W.
Stupid computer. Oh, she shut up. Anyway, I still love my computer. So we're seeing people leaving behind all the belief systems. Source, I need to ask another question. What are we expected to do when the food shortage and stuff that's happening, right? They're shutting down all the meat manufacturing plants. They're shutting down. They've killed 2 billion chickens. They've killed turkeys in 4 states. They've shut down 9 major food processing plants. And the president is ordering people to go to work anyways. And the death rate at those food producing places is the highest flashpoint in any place else. There's more people that die from the coronavirus in meat production factories. And look these facts up yourselves. I mean, who am I to say? I'm just telling you the facts. Because of all the blood and all the transference and everything else, right? Be careful about what you eat. I'm becoming a guy who's going to be eating nothing but lettuce, lettuce and tomatoes. And even then, somebody's got to pick the damn things. What are we to do? How should we remain in our resolve during these periods and times? What should we do to help others? Oh, hold on. You guys look at this card right here. Look. What should we do to help others? 10 of Cups. Look at this. Look at this. What should we do? I said, what should we do to help others? Look at this. 10 of Cups. Look at how happy there is, and the way he's spanning his arm across like that, of uncloaking the rainbow of gold cups and stuff. But it's togetherness. Look how that is, right? How do we stay in our, I asked the question, how do we stay in our resolve? The answer is through family, through love, through tightening up friendships and bonds, and not excommunicating people. I mean, I've had people, and just yesterday, I had a gal that came back after, good God, I don't know, maybe 8 months of just dissing me, that came back that says, I never got a chance to tell you thank you for everything that you've done for me. For the truth, when I didn't want to hear it. She hated me when I told her the truth. But she came to thank me just yesterday for it. Needless to say, she got into it again with me because I said something, and I just think she's on the defense right now, and I don't know how to handle her just yet. I will. I don't know how to yet because she's just so defensive. And this is the friend from Las Vegas, a person in Las Vegas that I met online here through my channel. That I sense was a good person, but was horribly misguided and led through just bad experience and life experiences, and I don't know if there's addictions involved and stuff, but I'm sure there probably is, and I'm not one to judge or even care. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that she finds peace within herself, and hopefully that she did. And so I graciously thanked her for that, and I just said, don't. And I mentioned something about playing that I was joking when I said something. I said something like, "What did you do? Did you pick the wrong guy? Is why you're calling me because you picked the wrong guy again?" And she wanted me to do another reading to tell her some more truth, and she got upset. And I was trying to be lighthearted about it, right? Because I was trying to find out what caused this transformation. Anyways, maybe I should never wonder why anybody does anything that they do anymore. But that attitude is exactly what I'm talking about here, and how we need to open up and treat people, right? Everybody doesn't have everybody doesn't have something malicious to say. Well, sometimes we do. I mean, I do. And I don't want you to hide from people. Trust me. And this card just popped out when I just said I don't want you to hide from people. I don't know what this card is. I didn't look at it. But when somebody's fucking up, I'm going to say that. Somebody's doing you dirty, or doing your family dirty, or just not caring about your family in the sense that they just let shit happen around you and make your kid a part of it. Speak out. Don't not. I already told my son yesterday. He goes, well, Dad, can I come over and get something so I can play next door at my house when I won't even let my own son in my house because I don't want him infecting my youngest son. Right? My youngest son doesn't run the street. He's been sequestered calmly and patiently for 2 months. As me, right? I want my son to live. The other son wants to run around and think that he's invincible and think that he's going to live forever through this shit. Little does he know. Anyways, I said, no, son, you can't come over and get a speaker. I don't like your friends. I don't. They're thieves, they're liars, they're drug dealers. They're one of his friends actually at school took a sharpened screwdriver from home and was going to stab my son. It's funny how I find all this stuff out after the fact. School's calling me. The school, my son would have me believe that his school was doing horrible things and they hate people and they're just push. I come to learn to love the faculty at his school. The principal, the vice principal, the dean of students, a lot of people, the teachers, the administrative staff, I saw them and loved them. I've come to love them. My son would have me think that they're horrible people. And at one point in time, I fell for it because I thought my son was infallible. I thought that he was as honest, like Abraham Lincoln honest. I fooled myself. Not anymore. Not anymore. Be careful about who you alienate too quickly before you learn and take time to dig into the truth. Anyways, God bless everybody at Sossaman Middle School. Love you. I mean that too. I'm not just saying that. I didn't have to say that, but I'm saying it because I want to. When I started talking about this, the next card that came out, Two of Cups. Partnership. What did I just say, right? Schools partner with me, telling me stuff. Parents partner with me, telling me stuff. I'm telling them stuff, sharing stuff with them. We have to be a tribe. You can't be a social butterfly and land on every flower without taking a shit on somebody. Did I just say that? Yeah, I just said that, right? So all these kids, all these juveniles running around, popping around these people's houses and hiding out with parents not there or doing things that they shouldn't be doing and stuff, popping from leaf to leaf. They're going to start shitting on each other. Matter of fact, they started to turn on each other. Blaming each other, saying they stole this, they stole that. No, they stole that, they did this. The Two of Cups. This is about a partnership, right? This doesn't have to be about love. This is a partnership, a coming together, a single vision. See them both looking at the same source of light, source of energy, with the line up showing the strength. You have to be strong enough in your willpower, first of all, to be an upstanding citizen, but to be a good parent, even in the face of adversity, when your child is trying to just speak havoc and horrible things about you, only for self-gratification to be able to run the streets. You know what I said? You don't have to talk bad about me to run the streets. You don't have to be here. Goodbye. Goodbye. I said that. I did it. I'm living it. Do I feel regretful? Hell no, I don't feel regretful. Because, you know what? He'll learn. He'll learn. It doesn't have to be by my lessons, but he'll learn. Life will teach him. I don't have to. Source is going to teach him. I don't need to teach him. I'll turn it over. My final card is going to be, what do we need to do right now, today, to overcome our discouraging thoughts and our thoughts. What do we need to do today? What do we need to do today? How can we uplift ourselves and the people around us? How can we uplift ourselves and the people around us? Father, talk to me, please. Talk to me, please. Source, talk to me, please. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. By offering people, extending an offer. How do we lift ourselves up in times like this? By extending an offer of kindness, a genuine kindness and love. A gal who did horrible things to me and my boys, horrible things, came to me 2 months ago and said, will you please give me a chance again? I've changed. Her daughter, who did horrible things to me and my sons, lies and a bunch of other stuff, and I got her a job, and she fucked that all up, and just, all that stuff damages your reputation when you stand up for somebody else and say, hey, guess what, this person's an upstanding person, and they turn around and lie, and they cheat, and they steal, and do all this other stuff. Well, all that stuff goes back on you, right? Because you're so willing to try to help people that you'd be willing to stand up and vouch for a person. Well, guess what? Vouching for a person shouldn't be at the risk of yourself. Don't be careful is what I'm saying. Be careful. Extend the cup of kindness, but don't allow evil, the devil, diablo, to come into your house, in your life. Again, forget about wealth right now. Forget about wealth. Focus on building a strong family foundation, because every day you have to go to work, you left your kids were home by themselves coming down the house. Spend that quality time with your kids. Share that with them. Do things with them. Me and my son work out. Me and my son go down and watch TV, movies together. We cook together. We clean together. We feed the animals together. We even do short videos together. Anyways, I'm grateful for all of you, for all your love, for all your well wishes. I'm grateful for this journey we've been on, that we continue to stay on. I wish you all a wonderful day. I pray that all of you stay safe, each and every one of you and your families as well. I send love. I send healing prayers and energy. My name is Lawrence, and I am the Blue-Dyed Emperor.